Hi there, it's Danny from Mysterious Things channel, where I find a mysterious or unsolved story and try to find insights and messages through tarot. First off, I want to thank my subscribers. Wow, am I thankful and somewhat amazed that you would take time from your day to listen to my stories. Thank you, thank you. Please share my channel with your friends. The more the merrier. If you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? I know I haven't posted in a couple of weeks, but it takes a lot of research for each one of these videos. And sometimes I get lost in a rabbit hole running around facts versus rumors. But surprise, this week you will get 2 videos. So it was worth the wait, I hope. So let's get started with today's mystery. Susan Morrissey Ledyard. At 9 a.m., July 23rd, 2019, Ben Ledyard was wakened by the loud banging on his door. He scrambled out of bed to answer it, shocked that his wife Susan was not in bed next to him, nor had she answered the door. It was the police. We're sorry. We're sorry to inform you, sir, that your wife's body has been found in the Brandywine River under the Northeast Boulevard Bridge in Wilmington, Delaware. The bridge? That's 3 miles away from home. What was she doing there? Oh, it wasn't completely out of character for her to leave and go out at that time. The last time he had seen her, he said, was when they both took their sleeping meds and went to bed. He'd gone to bed first while she was finishing up texting with her friends. She's dead? She was beaten and drowned. According to the fitbit she was wearing, she took her last breath just a half an hour before being found. She was found in broad daylight at 7:39 a.m. Police initially ruled her death an accident or suicide. But 5 months later, after months of investigation, her death was ruled a homicide. We'll talk more about that later. But first I thought I want to answer the question, who was Susan Morrissey Ledyard? Susan was born in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and attended Upland Country Day School. She graduated from Georgetown University and San Francisco University, where she graduated with a master's degree in education. Her sisters called her scary smart, and it wasn't unusual for her to be reading multiple books at a time. She loved language, she loved teaching, but at this point it was summer, and she was on her summer vacation from school, and she loved the freedom of being able to stay up late and sleep in the next morning, which is exactly what happened the night before she disappeared. She wasn't someone who was into anything dangerous. She didn't have any enemies. She had a real tight circle of friends and a wide circle of acquaintances. She was just a high school teacher who liked to hang out with her family. She had been with Ben for about 6 years, and they had married 3 years before. They seemed to have a happy, loving, and fun-filled marriage. Over the next several days and weeks, investigators put together a timeline to help figure out what Susan was doing in the moments leading up to her death. They were able to determine that she was active on her cell phone throughout the night, texting and calling friends, till about 2:45 a.m. They added also that there was nothing alarming about any of these texts that were sent or received. The investigators confirmed that video surveillance showed Susan's car leaving her driveway at 3:02 a.m., driving the 1 mile directly to and parking at Walker's Mill Road. The headlights go out, and it's dark there, so no one sees whether you can't really see if anybody got in or out of the vehicle. That's when the timeline ends. The investigators say they haven't been able to account for the 4-hour time span between that 3 a.m. ride out to Walker's Mill, which is, it's kind of like a little park area near the river, and that 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., a little bit before she was found. But they say they believe Susan was active during that time because she had a Fitbit on, and that Fitbit confirmed that she was alive until about 7 a.m. And she took about 100 steps, which would not allow her to walk from where she parked the car to where her body was found. So how did she get there? Early in the investigation, they said that based on the timeline and the course of the river, the investigators didn't believe Susan entered the river where her car was parked, was what I just said. The detective said that between the Rising Sun Lane where her car was and Northeast Boulevard, that river had several piers, some shallow areas, exposed rocks, and she wouldn't have drifted that far. She would have got caught up on something before she got to the area near the bridge. So Susan's family are desperate for someone to come forward with new information about how she died. They're offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Detectives are still actively working on solving the homicide, and there are still plenty of things going on. But 3 years later, it's still unsolved. So they're asking anyone who believes that they may have seen Susan during that 4-hour time period between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the early hours of July 23rd, or who may have any information regarding this case, to please come forward. The tip line is 1-800-TIP-3333. Yet life goes on. Susan's family created the Susan Morrissey Foundation, which gives a cash scholarship to a student at Academy Park High School. Susan's husband, Ben, has remarried and moved out of town. Anyone with information about Susan's death or who have seen something the morning she was killed, please, I put links below, so please contact them by phone or by email. And you don't have to leave your name if you don't want to, but they're just looking for any information that they can. So, can we shed some light on this tragedy? Who killed Susan, and why was her car found miles away from her body? Was she meeting someone? And what happened during the missing 4 hours? Let's ask the cards. Today we're using our Wizard's Tarot. I think this picture on the Wizard's Tarot kind of even looks like Susan. She's a very beautiful woman. So we can shed some light on this tragedy. We want to know who killed Susan. Why was her car found miles away from her body? Was she meeting someone? What happened during those missing hours? The cards are very active. Okay, well, they want to come out. Ooh, that's not a good one. If you haven't seen my readings before, how I read is I give 3 cards that come out to the past, 3 cards to the present, or Susan's present, and 3 cards to the future. So this would encompass her life before death, the actual event of her death, and then the aftermath and what's caused from that. So, oh, we have cards that want to come out all over the place. Let's still shuffling. Too many cards. Give me 1 or 2 cards. Come out here. Okay, here we got one. And this is before the event. Before the event. Susan Ledyard's life before the event. Susan Ledyard's event. The event of her death. What happened to Susan? That's the next 3 cards. Got 3 cards. Oh, got more than 3 cards. Well, there was something going on there. And then the aftermath of Susan's death. 3 cards on the aftermath of Susan Ledyard's death. Okay. Well, there's a lot of information here. Let me straighten it all out, and we'll take a look. I'll make sure these all get in the frame. I think I'll move these so that they can be seen. So here we have the cards before the event, of the event, and the aftermath of the event. Okay, here are the cards. I'm trying a little bit of a new setup so that maybe you can see the cards a little better as I'm explaining things to you. Let's start with the first 3 cards. Those first 3 cards signify before her death. So let's start out with the first one, and that is the devil. The devil talks about addictions and greed and envy and materialism and obsession and lust. So I think that all of the materialism is evident in this reading. As I can see a lot of that in future cards here. So let's take a look at that. I think a lot of this has to do with the love of money. Okay. Here, this second one is the 9 of Pentacles. And that card usually predicts luxury and self-sufficiency and financial gain. On this card in particular, I feel like there is, here are the Pentacles, the money situation is pretty solid. It's growing, but it has a bit of a feeling of closing you in, like being walled in somehow, not unable to move or do something you want to because of money. This here is a root that takes over and is ugly, and I think maybe Susan was feeling stale and looking into ways to make additional money or even strike out on her own in a new business venture. This has a feeling of that she's looking for something else. She's reading in books. She's trying to educate herself about something. And I think that that's kind of where her situation was. She was okay, solid financially, and she had that backing that was growth, but she had this creeping unhappiness about her job or her financial situation, and she was looking for something new. This card is the Seven of Pentacles, and that has to do with hard work, waiting. But you can see all these different things here are opportunities that she was looking at. Maybe financial opportunities. Maybe she was looking at changing jobs or striking out on her own, starting a new business. She had some possibilities that might be part of what's happening with all her communications, that she was talking to people and her texting. And I think that a lot of it had to do with something that she was looking forward to doing, or something that she was really discovering or finding out. Now, the rest of these cards down here, these all jumped out. They are about her actual death. So let's take a look at this. The very first card is friendship and circle of support. And in the timeline, Susan is texting her friends and her family. I kind of think that this signifies that this is a clue to where she was going next. And maybe the police need to look at who she was texting and what she said. There's something in those interactions that she wants us to decipher that has to do with her death. So somebody needs to be looking into those communications. I'm sure they have, and they need to go back and look. Or the people in her life, maybe the people that were texting her and in her life, maybe they need to go back and see what was said and see if she was giving like double answers to some things. You might want to check your text to people. Anyone that knows Susan and was texting with her that night and just happens upon my channel, I would say go check those things. The next card is the Three of Wands upside down. This signifies a family friend. And this is a plan that was put in place. So whatever happened here happened. It was planned. This wasn't a random act, this murder. This was someone she knew. Family and friend, or family or friend. This is someone she knew that did this to her. And this card is the Death card. Someone needed to move on and wanted to start a new life. And they didn't want her there. This is the High Priestess, and it leads me to believe there was a woman involved. There are hidden secrets and mysteries, and this person knows the correct path to take. She's maybe she's got some inside knowledge of the investigation, so she can stay one step ahead of investigators. But this is someone, again, friend, family, someone who knew Susan. The next card is the Page of Pentacles. That signifies something new, a new job, a raise, money news. There's a message or paperwork or text that is soon to be revealed, I think, and it has to do with finances that will implicate the murderer or murderers. For example, something like that would be like a life insurance policy that was taken out a week before the death. I'm not saying that's what it was, but something to do with money that will bring a break in the case. and it's some new information is going to be revealed. And this is the Knight of Swords upside down. This is a fast-talking person. Charging in with a lifestyle change and warnings. Someone else handling the affairs of the murderer is going to find this monetary connection that's here and realize its importance. I don't think it's been realized yet. So that information is coming to light. And this is the Queen of Swords. She is bringing light, and she is bringing justice, and she is an accountant or an attorney or a judge, perhaps, who's going to have the sort of truth, and she is going to help solve this case. The last 5 cards have to do with the aftermath of Susan's death. The first is the World. This is the completion of a goal. This signifies that this murder will be solved. This is the Queen of Wands. She's self-confident. She's a woman, a friend, a future business partner. She's going to bring news and new information that didn't seem important before, but now she realizes that she holds the key to this mystery. This is the Chariot. Action, change, a new vehicle. Things are moving fast. And this Queen of Wands is going to remove anything and everything in her path. This feels like a sister or a really close friend. And there it is, the Tower upside down. The information that this woman brings is going to bring this whole house of cards down. And in the end here, the Queen of Cups, well, I think this is Susan. Usually this is a nurturing and a healing and a supportive card. But if you look closely, I hope you can see that. If you look closely, this card, she has a full cup and she's pouring it out. As if to say, I trusted you. We had it all and you just threw it away. You just poured it out. You betrayed me. And now I'm getting my revenge. Well, Susan, I think you have a friend, a woman friend, or sister that you texted, that you communicated with somehow, that has information that they didn't think was important and needs to bring that to light, because when they do, this will be solved. It's going to bring it all down. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this reading on Susan Morrissey Ledyard. It is for entertainment purposes only, and only my intuitions on the cards. Please like and share and subscribe to my channel if you like to see a different point of view from the cards on mysterious things. And there are links below to the tip line, Susan's charity page, and ways that you can support this channel and help me make it grow. Thanks again for watching, and have a great week.